Welcome to the Flaherty Follow Up, episode 15. I'm here with Megan McIntosh, founder and director of the Godspeed Project. So welcome, Megan.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks for being here.
Hey, we are on site, actually, of the Godspeed Project. So Megan, give me a little bit of background and how would you describe your project?
Yeah, so the Godspeed Project is a nonprofit. We're in Cave Creek, Arizona. I founded the project in 2023, and we offer free of charge grief support services to families that have lost someone, and we use horses to offer that grief support. So it's a non-riding program. It's all on the ground, so kids don't have to really feel intimidated by what they're doing. They're just working and learning from the horses. It gives them a really big dose of confidence. It makes them giggle.
Yes.
It takes their mind off in some good ways and some bad ways of what they're going through.
Mm-hmm.
And it just provides a space for families to come, kind of like we're sitting here right now, just to come and get away from what they're dealing with.
Yes.
And be in an environment of healing.
Yeah, and let me tell you, it is therapeutic just sitting here. It is aesthetically pleasing. She has fruit trees. Everything, there is not a rock out of place. I've been to a lot of horse places, and this is definitely one of the most beautiful.
Thank you.
Good job on that.
Thank you.
So give us a little bit of history and how you came up with this idea and maybe personal experiences that led you to this point.
So I am new to horses, unlike some people probably listening or yourself. I found horses when I brought my 7-year-old daughter, Sadie, to an equine therapist in 2021. That was after the death of my son, Chase, who died when he was 18. He took a counterfeit Percocet pill, and it was fentanyl. So we lost him tragically, and we didn't know what to do. We did therapy. Therapy wasn't the right thing for, especially my youngest child. It wasn't the right thing for me now, looking back in hindsight. So we went to an equine therapist, which I had never done before, and it was just magic.
Yeah.
I'm like, how have I never known about this? And so I started crafting this idea in my mind of how I could incorporate it into my life full time, how I could tell people about it. Because I know there are so many people who are going through difficult times, who are grieving, who don't have the words that a therapist might need them to have to process. Like, if they knew that there was something like this, if I could provide something like this for people, I think that there could be, quite a bit of hope in what feels to be kind of a hopeless experience when you're grieving. So.
Yeah. So what maybe one experience did you have, with the horse that really struck a chord to be like, this is what I needed at this point in time?
Yeah, I don't think it was one experience. It is almost every time you're with them. There is like this cascade of peace in the air. There is this feeling of being seen and understood and accepted and loved. There is a sense of no judgment when you're around them.
Yeah.
And there's just like this spiritual feeling. So I think when I was really heavy in grief and could not find the light every time I stepped onto the property where my daughter was going, it was like I could breathe. That was it. It was like I could breathe. I felt like I hadn't breathed since the day I found out my son died. And then all of a sudden I was like, and then you have these large, massive animals who are like holding that space for you, and they breathe back, right? Do you know that feeling when they breathe on you and you're like, oh, this is amazing. Yeah. So it was every time. So I wish it was one time.
That's amazing.
But it's every single time. It's even now in my own life when I'm out here doing simple chores.
Totally.
It's like a veil of love and acceptance.
Yeah, incredible.
Thanks.
So walk us through maybe what a typical session would look like, and then kind of how people would get in touch with you and find you, and then we'll talk about our event coming up.
So we are on Instagram, Facebook. Word of mouth has been really powerful. We've gotten some great press lately with the Arizona Republic doing a front page article on us. We've been on some local TV shows and some other podcasts. The newspaper article was a big boost for us. Was it KTAR radio came out and did a segment as well. So most people have found us that way. When people do find us, I always talk with the family first to see if it's a good fit for them. Some people maybe have some mobility issues and it might not be the right situation for them. Some people, the grief might be very recent and they might not be regulated enough to come. They might need a little bit of time and space. So families come here They're welcomed with open arms. We do a lot of art to start sessions off to make kids feel comfortable, to kind of move some energy in their bodies. We do a lot of experiential learning with the horses and a lot of like one-on-one interaction with the horses so kids can groom them, which helps kids calm their bodies down. I say kids a lot, but every parent or grandparent or caretaker that comes ends up getting heavily involved in the process. And when that's a really cool scenario is when we have families who might be fractured because of a loss and they come here and they get to see how the herd of horses interact.
Yes.
And they get to kind of mirror that in their own relationships too and work as a collective herd and kind of reorganize after something traumatic like a death in the family.
I love that. I love that analogy. I mean, I hadn't even put that together, but that's 100%.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Thanks.
So we are really excited. Studio BB Designs and I are co-sponsoring Shop for a Cause on November 21st. And the Godspeed Project is our cause. So stay tuned for some more details. But 5 to 8 at Greyhawk Country Club, we will have some incredible vendors. We will have music. We will have auction items. We will have raffle baskets.
It's going to be amazing.
And it is, and it's all to support Megan and her cause and what she's doing for families in the Valley. So
yeah, something I want to add if I can.
Yes, please.
A statistic that I didn't know about until I started, I'm a certified grief educator, I'm a certified equine facilitator, I'm a certified trauma-informed yoga teacher. When I started crafting all this together, I was understanding what is going on in terms of loss in our country and how it's impacting children. And the statistics in the state of Arizona are 1 out of 10 children will experience the death of a parent or a sibling before their 18th birthday.
Wow.
1 in 10 will lose one of the most primary figures in their life or someone who's supposed to be with them for their life. So when I think about all of that grief that is not being addressed, that this cause could help those families and get all of us talking about it a little bit more openly. Death and dying is not a fun subject, but we need to help these kids and these families have a sense of hope. So this event, I want it to be light and happy, and we're offering hope to these families because there's more than we think of and there's more than we know. And the more we talk about it, the easier it is for those families to move forward.
Amazing. Amazing. Yeah. Wow. Well, I still have goosebumps, but thank you so much for taking the time and just shedding light on this. And we will see you on the 21st.
Shop for a Cause.
All right.
Thank you.